Thanks, Erica. First and foremost, thank you to the fans tonight. I thought incredible crowd. We didn't start the game very well. I thought the first 10 minutes we were a little off, maybe a little fatigued from New York City. But after that, I think the goal woke us up, and I thought we performed very well. Good professional performance, important to keep a clean sheet. I said it to the guys as we went out to the field. It should feel good, and we should take the field with confidence, knowing that we have a group that's been in good run of form, and also a group that's fully healthy and available for the first time in a while. So, again, I think this group has a level that they can go to that can get us into the playoffs, and then from there, I think, again, we have a team that's good enough to beat anybody. So, I continue to tell them it's not how you start the season. People remember how you finish, and that's kind of been our mindset. We dug ourselves in too deep of a hole. Didn't look like ourselves at the beginning of the year, but the guys are continuing to fight and get their way out of it. I thought it was a good performance tonight.
Go, Joe, Matt, and Kyle.
Jim, you have Mikhail, Ty, and Daniel have been doing their jobs all
Yeah.
season, but to see Quinn perform the way he did tonight, deliver that type of assist, how important is that going to be moving forward to get that type of performance out of him with all these meaningful games and everybody keying on those three attackers?
Yeah, Quinn had a tough start to the game too, but he stuck with it, right? And that's what good players do. I think you saw him be able to, it's things we've talked about in the past, be able to slow down and make really he has the ability to go by the first guy, which then changes the whole defense because teams have to adjust, and it's a domino effect, and he was able to go by people, get into what we call the assist zone, the area of the field where he played his passes from percentage-wise is the most dangerous area, and that leads to a high percentage of goals. So Quinn did a really good job getting into that. His work rate was really good defensively, and again, a player that I think continues to improve, and the reason he's on the field and getting a lot of minutes is because he's earned them. And I think sometimes still we forget how young he is, but he's a playmaker. I've said that to you guys before. People argue what's his best position. Is he a winger? Is he a second striker? Is he a side of the diamond guy? Is he a guy maybe that's best in a 4-4-2 flat? I think he's played all those positions I just said, and he makes plays in all of them. So good performance from him after, I think as a group collectively the first 10 was bad, but we woke up and punished DC, which was good.
And now as a group, you've gotten to this point, now you're back in a playoff position. But how do you now bottle that, maybe put some of it in the past, take the confidence with you, and now you have Atlanta and the 3 October games. We have to make the push to confirm that spot. How do you, I guess, approach that with the group now that you've gotten yourself back into this spot, but now to carry it over without kind of getting too high?
Yeah, it's funny, Joe, because, our schedule's been very, very tough down the stretch. I think like our last 10 games, when you looked at it, it's quite a gauntlet, and it's the top teams. But our group usually does best against the top teams. We're in this position because we were bad against I don't want to say terrible teams, but the teams that are struggling, we're one of them. But there's teams that the bottom teams we haven't punished and gotten points from. But our guys can raise their level. I still think one of our best performances was in Miami, against the top team. So I think we can raise our level to play with the best teams. It's a scary group. It's a group that knows each other well, has played in big games together, and unfortunately for us, our playoff mentality had to start about 5 games ago, because if we drop points, we're in a bad way. So we have to have that intensity and that playoff mentality now, which can be a good thing, because if you get into the playoffs now, you've been playing with a playoff intensity the whole way through. So that's our goal. It's going to be hard still. We still have a really tough schedule. An Atlanta team that is fighting for the same thing we are right now, and then it gets really difficult with at Orlando, at Columbus, and home against Cincinnati. You never know the timing and what those games mean to each team in that moment. Are they still in a supporter shield fight? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of variables that'll go into it, and hopefully the chips fall into place for us, and we can take care of business. But right now we control our own destiny, which is important.
Jim, anything in particular that you guys identified going down that right wing? It seemed like the first 3 goals came from there. What have you seen in I don't know if it's improved chemistry, but
Yeah, with the front three, and you can go look at the New York City game, you can look at tonight, when they're close together, and sometimes soccer is very simple. When they're very close together, we score goals. You know, whether it's off other teams' mistakes, but you can see in the film, New York City was a great example. All three of those guys could almost hold hands when the ball hit the back of the net in every instance. So that's something that we work with them. We preach to them, and again, we're going to go as far as those guys go. They can finish plays off. They're very dangerous. Sorry, I went on a tangent on those guys. The first part of the question was just.
What did you guys identify?
They're right. Yeah. So, look, the other simple part of soccer is our scouting department does an amazing job, and it's very detail oriented, and it does a lot of analytics. But when the opponent's best center back, Bartlett, is suspended on yellow cards, we're going to go at the spot where he would normally be. So that's just the way the league is. It's cutthroat. You find areas of weakness and you go at them. It's not personal, but that's kind of our MO, and that's how we kind of operate. So they're missing a top center back. Have to juggle a little bit, like we had to maybe last game with Nathan, and we're relentless when we go at the changes in teams.
Jim, DC had 16 shots tonight,
Yeah.
but only 4 were on target, and a lot were outside the 18. Can you talk about the defensive positioning and performance to turn away some of those shots?
Yeah, we gave up too many chances. I thought the first half, and even the second half too, our marking in the box was a little bit loose, and on a night where if the opponent was a little sharper and cleaner, they could have scored some goals tonight. So I don't like tonight from the standpoint that it could have been. We probably could have scored 8 goals. They probably could have scored 3 or 4. So I don't like that. So it was a little too wide open. So we certainly have things to tighten up, because if that's Cucho, on the end of those, or that's some other guys, they're in the back of the net, and that's the difference. So we scored our chances tonight. They didn't. I don't think we played a perfect game, but there's certainly things to clean up. Certainly on the defensive side, marking in the box. There was too many shots from Too many shots in general. They missed the target a lot, so we were a little bit lucky. We did do a good job blocking some things for sure and protecting Andre as best we could. He still had to make too many saves, I thought. So a lot to still work on.
Jose?
Jim, a rare early exit for Kai. Obviously, a guy
Yeah.
who's given you nearly 3,500 minutes this year.
Yeah.
How's he holding up? I saw the ice in the back.
Yeah,
Of his leg.
hamstring was tight yesterday in training. He left at the very end of training. So there's 2 factors. That's a big factor. And then the other factor is we play Atlanta, when it goes 4-0, Kai's on yellow cards too. He's 1 away. So we're a little bit proactive, get him out of there. Yellow cards can come from anything, even when you tell them to stay calm or not go into too many challenges. You're always 1 little slip or something away from picking up a yellow card. So that was the thinking there. Busy week, 3 games in a week. Just it's not a hamstring pull. I don't want to scare anybody or tear, but it was tight, and tight leads to problems. So we were a little bit proactive and took him out.
And in terms of Andre, how's he feeling? Obviously, coming back after that groin issue that he got
Yeah.
from Jamaica.
Yeah, we made him kick too much. We plan-wise was not to pass back to him and avoid that, just to try to save the groin a little bit. But we still passed back to him a little bit too much. But I just talked to him a second ago. He said he got through it fine, no pain. We joked and laughed about the pass backs, but they listened to me about a lot of things, but sometimes in the heat of games, you have to roll them back to him just to get out of a tight spot. So Andre handled it great, made some big saves tonight, because again, that game could have been a lot closer than it was.
Thank you.
We're going to do 4 more. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and end with back.
Jim.
Jimmy, go ahead. You're going. Go ahead. Sorry.
Michael scores in his 4th straight game tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously scores the one he probably should, but then almost converts on a really nice
Yeah.
chance down the left side in the second half where he's denied by the post. Seems like a guy who's got a lot of confidence going into the final stretch. What is the biggest thing you're seeing from him and his mentality that's changed in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, confidence for strikers is everything. You look at Ty right now, and his work rate leads to so many good chances, and he's ruthless in front of goal. Mikel's the same way. He runs in bunches, and goals come in bunches with him. And I think I've said it a million times, and I've said it to Mikel, the more he touches the ball on the run of play, it leads to more involvement in the game. He has to avoid the spells where there's 15 to 20 minutes where you don't see him. Those are the things that I think he's avoided in the recent games, and he's been able to, even come off the center backs a little bit, pop up in different spots. Everybody knows he's going to try to run in behind. So sometimes now, just to set up the defense, coming a little bit underneath, getting a touch or two, getting some involvement, getting comfortable, leads to opening up the defense a little bit more. So he's a great striker. He's a great finisher. Made some really, really good plays tonight. Could have scored 3 or 4 goals, I would say. And I think his fitness is getting better and better now too. And I've been taking him out around 60 because it's been a busy week. I don't want to risk any injuries because he's so important. But it's a really dangerous group of 3 guys if they get hot. With Gazdag, the finish he had tonight, Ty's finish, which was not an easy one, that header that got on him fast, and Mikel scored a striker's goal, running in the box and finished in the playoffs. So happy with the way they scored, but I still am going to demand more and more out of those guys because they are really talented. Sorry.
Jim, it looked like DC was trying to put you guys in a double team kind of situation on defense 3 out of 4 goals. Came that way.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys had a counterpunch ready for them. Is it something that you guys saw on tape?
Well, it's a team that is very direct, is very physical. Troy, the coach, is formerly a Red Bull coach, so everything is transitions and tackling. What was their foul total? It had to be. They had to have at least over 12 to 15 fouls, something like that. So they were very physical. So they got a piece of you after the play all the time. So we knew it was going to be kind of a street fight, roll your sleeves up and fight kind of night. And if you back down to that and don't punch back, you can get bullied and run off the field. So our guys can do that. The thing I love about our group, I hope people take this the right way, we can win a fight. We can win an ugly fight because our guys aren't scared. We can play as physical as any team. We can win a transition game. We can play some pretty nice soccer as well with our passing. So to be able to beat teams multiple ways is really important. How many fouls was it? 25 fouls on them. Oh, okay. So I thought they had 25. I was like, God damn, that is a lot. So, okay, 25. Sorry.
Danley played today again. He's back. How is everything for him? And I want to know if you are happy for him on the team.
Danley?
Yes.
Incredible player. Special player. A starter for us once he's fully healthy. He picked up an injury with Haiti with the national team against St. Martin. A bad tackle on the AstroTurf, and the ankle was, really, really swollen. And he pushed through his rehab and fought very hard to get back on the field in training. I think he's still not 100% yet, but incredible talent. I think we all saw in the Red Bull game he was, for me, the best player on the field. So he's a player that is going to make our level increase. We have a really strong midfield, but Danley's certainly a guy that can win balls, can pass, can play. When you play in French League One, that is a top league, and most importantly, your coach picks you every game to play. That tells you how talented and good Danley is. So a player I've really loved working with. There's a communication, little bit of a barrier. Obviously, I don't speak French, but we have a couple guys in the locker room that help with the translation. He's a very sweet, humble kid, and he's going to be a real help to this club and a very important player.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
So how's it feel to have your entire roster healthy going down the stretch and also defending the home field like you always talk about?
Yeah, look, it's a big win at home. Our home record this year is unacceptable. We all know that, but we have an opportunity to make things right down the stretch. Again, win the games here, and we should be in the playoffs. That's the reality. So it won't be easy, but it's great to have the full selection of players. Like I said, Danley, Andre aren't probably 100% right now, but we get a nice little break here where we have at least a full week of training to prepare for a good Atlanta team. And again, get a little bit healthier, get a little bit sharper, and it's important to try to be peaking at the right time.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.